I'm Josh Light with PoliticIt.com here in Michigan with Jim Slezak. He's running for Congress as a Republican in District 5. How you doing today, Jim?
I'm doing great, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, Jim, tell me the big differences between you and your competitors in this race.
Well, I'm actually the candidate that works for everybody. I'm not the 99%er or the 1%er. I get out there and I work for everyone.
And how's your experience prepared you for Congress?
Well, in the business field, I own my own business, and I've also been a state representative for 2 years, so kind of had both experiences, so I bring all that to the table. Not just being on one side and being in politics my whole life, or just being in business.
How do you think our education system is doing here in the United States?
Well, I think we're lacking right now. I think it has to do with all the funding and the resources that we use. I think in Washington, we duplicate what we do in the states, which takes away the money that comes back to the states. What we need to do is get rid of some of the funding in Washington. I like to get rid of the Department of Education because what we do here in the state of Michigan is the same thing in Washington, but the money doesn't flow back. I think we need to bring that back to Michigan and let the state decide what we want to do with the money that we get and not mandate everything from the federal level. And I'd also like to take it actually a step further and bring it more to the local level, where our parents and our teachers and administrators are more empowered to make decisions on the curriculum for the children in the specific areas of the state, because different areas in the state are different, if that makes sense, to how we're going to be educated in jobs and colleges we're going to go on to. So I think we need to bring it way back to a local level.
How do we solve this problem of rising healthcare costs here in our country?
That's a great question on the healthcare. You know, the healthcare legislation that was put through was kind of done in a way where they took a group of bills, balled it up, and threw it through. You know, Washington's been doing that for years. That needs to stop. We need to actually have healthcare that's actual healthcare and not pick and choose different issues to fund things. You know, when an issue gets put in place, there should be a funding mechanism already there, which Washington doesn't do. We look in healthcare, for instance, we're looking at 2013, 2014, where things are going in place to fund it. And they should have already been in place to fund that. Don't speculate on where they're going to be, and then don't go after maybe the wealthy, whatever it may be, to fund this for everyone else.
And are you using social media in your campaign?
A little bit. I'm not the best at that, but you know, I like to you know, look at all the different things on there. Everybody says, you know, I should do that more. You know, the younger generation. I'm not that old myself, but you know, are doing that, and we have been doing it, but I know I need to do more.
Jim, what's wrong with our economy, and how do we fix it?
Well, I put it in this way. When I go to the grocery store with $100, I only spend $100. I don't spend $200. Our federal government takes in roughly $2.4 trillion in taxes, but we spend $3.5 trillion. Something wrong with that. It's like having a checkbook. Just because there's checks in it doesn't mean there's money. And we keep borrowing and borrowing and putting the burden on our individuals, our youth. There's no future right now. I have 3 younger children, 3 school-age children, where I'm worried about their future and where they're going to get a job, what they're going to do. Are they going to have to go to another country to get a job? I hope not. I'd like them to stay in Michigan right here, or have the opportunity to choose which state they'd like to go to work.
How's your campaign going right now?
Fabulous. Everywhere I go, it's been positive. I've been received by everyone well. I work well with others. When I was here in the State House in Lansing, most people called me the person that would stand in the aisle and bring people together. And that's what I do. We need to do that. We don't need people on one side going after each other just because it's a certain issue. We need people that actually get together and work out an issue. We need compromise. You know, not everybody's going to like every issue, but there needs to be some compromise, which I don't see in Washington at all. And so I'll go and, you know, bring that to the table.
Jim, where can people go to learn more about you?
They can go to my website, which is www.jimslezak for Congress. They can go to my Facebook page. I have a Twitter account, which I don't really use that much, but we'll probably start using it a little bit more now talking to you today, Josh. And, I appreciate you guys coming out, making the trip, going around the country. This is awesome to see. You look a little bit younger than me. The youth really needs to get involved in what's going on to determine their future. And I think people have been stepping up, and I think it's awesome.
Thanks, Jim.
Appreciate you being here.